Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. Tonight, there are many questions surrounding the murder investigation of a therapist in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. TikTok influencer known as Mr. Prada, whose real name is Terrion Thomas, was arrested in Dallas, Texas, Tuesday night. He is not charged for the murder of therapist William Nicholas Abraham just yet, but he was named as a person of interest in the case after allegedly stealing Abraham's car and crashing it before running away Monday afternoon. A little more background on this case for many of you out there. Abraham's body was found Sunday, wrapped in a tarp along a road in Tangipahoa Parish. According to the coroner, Abraham died from blunt force trauma. Abraham was previously a priest and was arrested after being accused of molesting an 11-year-old, and that was back in 2015. Some people speculated, did the math, and they believe that this guy who was arrested is believed to be that 11-year-old victim was Mr. Prada. But we don't know that definitively just yet. However, Prada's attorney insists that is not true. Mr. Prada is awaiting extradition to Baton Rouge. So far, police have not released a motive or named a suspect. Joining us to talk about this here on The Factor Uncensored is Dr. Angela Jones. It's always a sticky and cautious situation when you have a client and that client may, and we're not saying this about him yet,
right,
but that client may not be stable and you're trying to help that person and they go left on you.
Right.
But from what you have read and investigated in this case for us, what are your thoughts about it?
You know, there's a lot of twists and turns in this story, right? The alleged idea that Mr. Prada may have been molested by this therapist. So it's clearly that if that is the case, that Mr. Prada sought him out, sought his services, and actually planned this, right? So this is something that he has, if this is true, if this storyline is true, that this is something that is premeditated, planned, and that he's been wanting to do this for a long time. Now, whether it's not true or is true, we don't know if Mr. Prada is related to the person that was molested, or if he was molested and he just wants to, you know, find a way to get the people who have done this to other people. So there's
or it could be something totally different.
Right.
And his attorney has denied this, but that's what an attorney would do.
Correct.
If he is defending his client.
Correct. Right. But, I mean, we already see that he was actually arrested for molesting an 11-year-old in 2015. So it's not that case in particular. It tells you, like, this is something that actually can happen with this person because he was already arrested. Obviously, he was found guilty. So it's not that far off.
Right.
We don't know the story in this space, but even as a therapist, you really don't know who's seeking your services. It is always a guessing game. You give them paperwork. You hope they fill it out honestly. But some people, unfortunately, and not a lot of people, I don't know what the percentages, may seek out therapy from people for a particular reason that could be mischievous, that could be malicious, and we have to kind of use our spidey senses, our skill, and our education to try to really figure that out with someone. But you know, sometimes we're wrong. We don't really know.
And of course, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you're always on TV, whether it's here on The Factor or national TV. Are you cautious about who you take in as a client?
You know, the thing is that I can't really discriminate who I take in as a client. I only see adults, so I can't discriminate and say I don't take anybody under 18.
Are those spidey senses
always, always. And I feel like over time, especially as I'm doing this, I trust my senses a lot more being in this space. You know, the fact that I am on TV, the questions that I'm being asked, even in the emails that I get right after this show, you know, some of them are really suspicious, and you can really sense just from an email if someone is genuinely wanting to seek therapy from you because they respect you and your education, or if they're trying to get to know you for malice.
And let's get back to this Terrion Thomas case. Many people would think, okay, if he was a victim, then it's justified. It's not justified.
Correct.
Especially if you planned it out.
Right. It's not justified. Murder is murder. And if anything, you have to make sure that you don't automatically assume that he was right to do what he did. Like I said, everything I'm saying is alleged. We don't know if that is the actual fact.
Exactly.
And so at the end of the day, you know, if he did victimize the person that did murder him, it is unfortunate, but he could have gone through the justice system to try to get justice for that as well. But again, as I said, you know, I'm never going to say, yeah, he deserved to die. I'm not really someone who's going to say that, but I know there's a lot of people out there who do feel that way, and they have a right to feel that way, but me personally.
And in the last 10 seconds we have, your best advice to other therapists out there before or when you have a client and you feel something that's not right.
Trust your instincts. Your instincts are there to tell you. It doesn't tell you exactly what's going on, but if your instincts tell you something is off, there's a reason why that's happening. You know, it's like that spidey sense you get on the back of your neck, and you should investigate that a little bit or ask the right questions. You know, you have to still be morally correct, but make sure you listen to yourself.
All right, Dr. Angela Jones, always good to see you, and be careful out there.